going for 3 in a row. It's never been done before. Who's going to come out on top in game number 3? We've got 3 men here to answer that question too right now.
They have no choice, you're right. They have to win this game to progress.
No choice. They don't have much choice either. But yeah, they're not going to get a better chance than this, surely, all season, to gather a whole hat full of points on the DPC.
Yeah, I think Cuckoo has learned so much from Demon, from T-Burn. He's been growing a lot as a captain player. They have quite a few interesting drafts. I mean, the last game they had some problems with the drafts, but I think he can bounce back in the game number 3 and just get a draft that they are comfortable with. Good matchups, especially for their core players.
Okay. Yep. One of you two give me the Virtus.pro can still win their 3rd major in a row speech.
I mean, dude, they're really good. Do I need to really give a speech so much?
Well, no.
VP's great.
You've obviously never heard of Churchill or JFK or anyone else that's giving a motivational speech. That's not. Well, you're just really good.
Just do you.
I mean, did Churchill stand there and just tell all the boys on the beach, guys, just go and do it? You're really good.
I'm not sure. I wasn't there. I'm sorry, Paul.
Jack, give me some inspiration. If I'm a Virtus.pro fan right now and I'm feeling a bit rough after a bit of a beat up in the first game and a bit better after the second game, and I really want my team to go and win their 3rd consecutive major, what are you going to tell the boys before they hit that?
Let me first see if I can get over my disappointment at Fog's disrespect for Churchill. Okay, say something like, you're Virtus.pro. You're on the verge of making history. TI is already secured, but now you're competing against yourself for a level of greatness that no one else has ever achieved. You can become the most dominant team in the world in this stretch, and then down the road you can even overcome Secret of 2015 by doing great at TI and holding up that all you have to do is claw back from this series against these SCA, these Chinese teams that have never been in the same stage, situation, and level of glory that you've achieved over the last 2 majors.
I like it. I'm feeling motivated. I think we do. That's fantastic, Jack.
We needed some background music for that.
Jack is a Winston Churchill fan, like myself, and that felt very Churchillian to me, Jack.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very motivational.
A high honor, an honor I could not have deserved.
Yeah, I like that.
Is that what you do with your team? Guys, we can do this and blah, blah, blah.
This is why Storm have suddenly become very good, reaching tournaments now, because this is the kind of speech that Jack gives them before they go into battle.
That was beautiful. I have a lot to learn here.
You obviously do. They're good guys. They're really good, though.
Dude, I mean,
they're just really good.
How can I can never stand up to Jack. Come on, Jack's the best.
As they head towards this 3rd draft, though, Fog, do you think the last game has given TNC some headaches?
Yeah, I think, though, that like Winter was saying, I think they're definitely going to be able to bounce back. The last one, I felt like it was a very big VP draft win, but also TNC, they really did suffer. Maybe they are going to stay away from the Willow this time around because Tim's also didn't have the greatest performance on it. But I think also they like kind of played themselves. They wanted to be, they were like, okay, we want to switch this Lesh. We want to pick this Queen of Pain, and it obviously backfired. So I think just picking something that they're more comfortable with.
Yeah. Teams often change, Winter, don't they? When they come to this final game of a big game late in the tournament, they often go for what they're really... Like you finally see their true colours come out, and these are the things we really believe in now.
Yeah, maybe the last game was just them trying to get Dark Willow not nerfed. So I don't know. And the next game they're just gonna this is our true colours. We're gonna pick the heroes that we feel the most 100% comfortable with. And
if they can get them, of course. I mean, do we expect the same bans?
There's definitely no Tiny, no Prophet.
No Prophet. There's no way they let those 2 through.
My biggest thing probably was just having a frontliner. Because I think in majority of their games, they even sometimes have like multiple frontliners. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that I would look for TNC. Because, Sam H, that game, sure, he suffered like crazy. He had like 5,000 hero damage done, 13 plus deaths or something.
But they've sacked him before in that lane.
They have.
Yeah, and they've still done well.
But usually they have that frontliner. I think that's the key thing, so that he can actually have a little bit of an easier time rather than just having to jump and initiate every single time.
And the last ban as well, they banned out the DK, so it left them with little to no options of frontlines that game. So
that's maybe secure something earlier?
Yeah, that's why we see, especially I think Mineski, who else, teams picking like DK. There's a lot of early DK picks. That Prophet, another one. Gyrocopter. But Gyrocopter's not a frontline. But That Prophet, DK, these are the heroes that are really, really good at like being a frontline. They siege, they can carry the game, they have damage. They provide so much for you. Whereas you look at the Lash, they open with the Lash. They didn't really want to, maybe they wanted to go for a Core Lash, but halfway down the road, they felt like, oh, Core Lash might be actually a bad idea this game. There's a lot of burst from the enemy team, and they switched things out. And eventually, it resulted in a draft that super super imbalanced, and it was really difficult for them to play that game.
But that's part of the problem, though, isn't it? Because if you pick a Lash or Sand King or any of these flexible heroes that you can lane anywhere, just in case they get countered in the draft, you do leave yourself open to having a bit of a wonky draft sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, we've seen them adapt and try to adjust it. Sometimes, like Sam H, we mentioned, like he goes like Vanguard, Hood, etc. on the Sand King. But in this game, he was like, I needed to just be that initiator. We have this like awkward Leshrac, Dark Willow supports. So I think that'll probably be the adjustment that they take.
I would, yeah. If you pick the Lesh, then and they call your bluff kind of early, is this going to be a core or not? You better be prepared to actually run it. Like you see that Virtus.pro fearlessly runs this gyro mid into what are usually bad matchups or dangerous roaming matchups, and they still get it to work. Because if not, you really kind of limited your pool a little bit with that situation. I think Virtus.pro, with this draft, we've seen them ban out Razor almost nonstop for like, I'd say a month straight, if not more. If I were them, I would probably leave that in the pool and try to take out something else of TNC's. I haven't seen, I don't recall if TNC has played Razor this tournament. I don't think I've seen much of that hero.
No, not much. I don't recall, but I think for TNC, they need to find another like tiny light hero for Armel, and I think DK is a good replacement to that. Maybe more priority to that. That hero does provide them with a lockdown initiation, like tower hitter, somewhat like a tiny, and it does give him like a carry potential hero, a semi-core hero.
So this time VP's on Dire, and TNC's still first pick.
Yeah. Well, they've been given the Sand King first every game. There's a Dark Willow available, of course, as well. So see if they go away from that.
They're going to take the gyro from VP.
Okay.
Paul, you mentioned gyro is getting near to Sand King in terms of pick rate.
Yeah, he's one behind now. He's actually been picked up 43 times now. The Sand King 44 times, but obviously could still be picked up in this game as well to stay ahead. But those two are out ahead of Witch Doctor on 38, Tusk on 34, Tiny on 32 now, 31 rather.
I really like this opening though, because gyro was like a really crucial hero in how VP plays. I've said it time and time again. I really like how they put it on no one. I don't really like it so much on Ramses.
Yeah.
So taking it away, very crucial.
They'll still go back for the Tusk.
I wonder if they. I thought they were gonna might just go like DKAA or something at this point.
I was thinking something like Tusk Underlord.
Tusk Underlord sounds good, but but Underlord seems like maybe it might not be so fitting for how VP plays as a whole. I'm not sure, because the first game wasn't that convincing. I mean, it's not just the hero. They had like this like Underlord, Viper, gyro. There are a lot of other factors too. I felt their course didn't mesh really well.
They're just going to take the Doom again after this last game.
Then.
Okay.
Pick the TB again, TNC.
I like the Tusk a lot versus Gyrocopter though. That's like one of my favorites, because you can actually, like, closing the gap on a gyro, you can bring multiple people in on top of him too, and in laning phase can be strong. And TNC take their Sand King.
Yeah, 45th time at DAC. Leading all heroes. It's also one of the most combined picked and banned as well, and one of the top 5. Tiny ahead of it on 79, by the way, and Razor on 77. Terrorblade also on 79. That's their combined pick or ban.
Pick and ban, yeah.
It's a very dangerous dual lane potentially from Virtus.pro with roam potential mid. So we talked about earlier kind of the different 3-position heroes that these teams pick. So, Fog, you were mentioning kind of the utility items on the Sam H hero. Yeah. This Doom actually feels like it's very punishing if you pick an initiation-based 3. Because that 3-position hero then either has to go out of his way to get utility items or doesn't have them at all, which means that the Doom can potentially just counter one of your cores entirely. Because you're talking about a Gyrocopter, you know, this hero does not want to be doomed in the fight. If you pick something else that TNC has run, whether it's a TB, whether it's a Luna, like, you do not want to be doomed at the start of the fight. And then you may not be able to keep that hero alive, because TNC usually doesn't draft much save. And if their 3 has to, you know, kind of choose between these items, it kind of takes one core out of the game. So that's why I like this Doom pick.
One thing I like that I think TNC could maybe try to do with versus a Doom is a pretty long cooldown. It's over 2 minutes, so I think that's something they could try to take advantage of. Just play that super fast pace, try to take advantage of when the Doom is down. Get these heroes that can at least like take Roche, take objectives, something along those lines.
I feel like Doom as a hero, even though without his ultimate, he's still pretty strong at fighting with the Scorch and Infernal Blade.
Yeah.
The other thing that's possible against Doom is you get this kind of like vision initiating hero. Like Bat Rider is an easy example, and you just go for the Doom first. You just look for the Doom, grab him, make sure you get your initiation first. to cancel out the Doom. Because generally Doom is going to be quite near the front lines. He wants to get the Doom onto your core hero, like your carry. So having those kind of heroes can protect your carry against the Doom.
Ban out the troll.
Two of the strongest carries probably right now in the game.
They've banned the Queen of Pain, so they're saying whoever your mid lane is, prepare to get roamed on. Limits the pool of options a little bit.
Both of the
Puck and Queen of Pain.
Yeah, both of the avoiders.
Yeah, I wonder if they could. If they, I don't know if you want to pick it at this point, but just grab something like a life stealer here.
For VP, right? Lifestealer or Jug, that's what I was thinking. Jug we haven't really seen too much.
Disruptor.
They'll take the Disruptor, the catch.
I'm still quite concerned about like what Armel is gonna. There's still a DK. I think DK is still a pretty good pick for their overall lineup. Maybe in the next pick, just go for a support first. But I think they need like something that can handle the pressure against the Tusk roam. Someone that's really tanky. They need a front line, so DK does fit that as well. And it's a hero that Armel is also quite comfortable with. He likes to go for the like a more carriage build, like with an armlet.
Armlet,
yeah, something like no one prefers to go to as well when he plays the DK.
They're the only two that I see actually do that, I'm pretty sure. They just always,
most
instead of
people
going like
just-
Shadow Blades and
Shadow
stuff,
Blade
they go
Drum.
Armlets every single time.
I would like to see them go for an AA instead, because the third core I think puts them in a pretty tough spot. The AA allows them to tri-lane against a duo from Virtus.pro very easily,
I like that.
or to match the tri-lane. And of course, it's another support pick here instead of taking potentially another core.
Yeah, or a Witch Doctor. And
No, that's fine. Another
Rubik.
support pick.
But Rubik's weak in the laning phase against Doom. He, on the other hand, will buff the Sand King and the Gyrocopter with the Nullfield. But I'm getting worried about the lane though. The lane against the Doom Tusk seems like it's gonna be causing a lot of problems unless TNC has like 3 heroes in the safe lane. Now there goes the Lifestealer you guys were mentioning. Great matchup against the Gyro. Great matchup against all the heroes at the moment.
Yeah. I'm not like the Rubik for me is a little questioning because like you can't. Okay, there's some spells you can steal. Of course, like Doom is probably like the best one, Doom and Static Storm. But it's very hard to steal these spells. There's always like those instant other ones that can be casted to disrupt that. So I'm a bit curious why they picked that one when they see Tusk and Doom already.
Very comfort related. They've played it 8 times in the last 3 months, and they've played it 4 times now during DAC.
This is something that I want to say as well. When you have this kind of like a mid player transitioning into a position 5, Rubik is more like a hero that you probably like to play more because you can farm. You get to farm. You get to do a lot of stuff with your skill set.
It pairs well with Gyrocopter as well, right? You always have like kill threat, and now they're actually gonna pick the Luna. So that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna make this stronger safe lane and put the Gyro in the mid to try to deal with that Doom Tusk aggression.
But I'm really worried about the carry to call matchup though. Lifestealer is great against all of the heroes right now from TNC.
Yeah.
They have nothing that goes through magic immunity unless Rubik steals the Doom or steals the Warrior's Punch. I don't know, man. I'm quite worried for TNC here.
They need a frontliner again. I know they've in the past they've made the Gyro sometimes that frontliner going like straight like phase drum BKB.
There's 2 ways they could do it, right? They could move the Sand King to support, and as you said, pick a frontliner, or they can keep the Sand King as the off layer and try to draft some save.
Yeah.
And that's the other possibility for them.
Because I see VP they banned the Night Stalker too, so that's their thought too. They're like, okay, this Night Stalker will be that frontliner. So
Yeah.
There's Underlord though. Underlord can be a frontline. They have Rubik. Underlord's really good with the Rubik. You can build all the team items you want. The pipe, the Crimson Guard.
yeah.
The problem is that would be a scary pick, I think, into this lane from Virtus.pro. And like, so both the Sand King and Night Stalker have a way of escaping the Tusk shards, so that you're not just automatically dead if he rotates on you. But for an Underlord or another kind of plotting
Just
hero,
put him in the safe lane, I guess. If they do Underlord, it's very likely we might see some air goaling with the Luna. I think it's still a core Sand King, and Teams is probably gonna handle
so
the
there's
Null.
kind of the
That's-
save,
that's
but
a-
it's more like AoE. It's a bigger cooldown.
It's a save and it's like a way to hold down the Lifestealer.
Yeah, that's very important. I mentioned that they don't have any disable that goes through Rage, and right now they have the Naga. So I think that's a pretty good pick here to finish things up for TNC, and they have the setup, the song into Call Down, the song into the Eclipse.
Also, if he manages to get up that Aghanim Scepter, I think that's a very good counter against the burst damage that Virtus.pro
To the
has.
Doom especially.
And very
Yeah.
very good versus
The Doom,
Doom
and
too.
then the one set of spells, I guess, from the Lifestealer, right? And so you can just reset after that.
What's no one's hero?
So they need like a secondary DPS hero.
Yep.
There's Dragon Knight.
Yeah, DK's still there, isn't it?
There's Shadow Fiend, because you kind of want like a BKB hero, because you're up against a Naga. You want someone that can build the BKB early.
I was thinking the SF, yeah. Like, yeah, DK or SF sound pretty strong.
Because like they have SF plus toss, so it's easy to get kills on the mid lane. They're up against a gyrocopter, a hero that has no escape mechanism. I can see that definitely working out for them. So
There's
they
a Dragon Knight.
Choose your hero.
DK, so
It's a very Virtus.pro looking lineup.
Sure is.
Stable supports as ever.
Tanky, 3 tanky strength cores.
Yeah. All the things that they like doing in a game. Is it enough to beat TNC? Winter.
I think with the Naga pick, they sort of like gave themselves a win condition. They're gonna have this song against the Doom. They're gonna have really strong dual lane Sand King plus Naga, or they go aggro tri-lane. So I think TNC has the right amount of balance this time, and they have okay matchups. Big. So I'm going to go with TNC.
I'm going to stick with VP. They've got very comfort heroes, solo on Disruptor, very tanky tri-core to run at this Luna as well as Gyrocopter, and I feel like they still lack a frontliner. Sam H is going to have to try to be that, but I'm a bit concerned for TNC.
Okay. 1 for 1. Jack?
This game's going to come down to how well TNC can preserve the space in their jungle and to have their cores be able to farm. Tim's is going to have to play a really good game. It's going to come down to his performance, I think. But I have faith in TNC. They've played really well this tournament, so I'm going to bet on them to score that upset, set some trends, create some firsts, and knock out VP.
All right.
La
2
Bampina.
for TNC and 1 for Virtus.pro. Lots of history to be made on the back of this game. We either get 2 SEA teams in the top 3 at a major, or Virtus.pro carry on with the hope of becoming the first team to win 3 majors in a row. Let's find out how it goes down as we rejoin our commentary team of Cap and Blitz in the arena.
A historic Game 3 indeed. We can only hope that it is an evenly matched Game 3, as both Game 1 and Game 2 felt a bit one-sided. Blitz, judging from the draft, will we see that even Game 3?
I think so. I think that TNC, they've made a really nice adjustment, and VP are going for more of the same. They want catch, catch, catch. Like, this is the focus of this draft, is to be able to catch with the Tusk, the Disruptor, and the Doom. They want to be able to catch, transition things into pushes with the Dragon Knight. This is their strategy. But TNC, instead of being a little bit more greedy this time around, they're going to fight. They're going to try to get into a fight. If somebody gets caught, I think the idea is to just go for the 5-man. So you can neutralize the threat of the Disruptor. Not so much of a similar draft as to game number 1 or 2 for them.
It did seem like Virtus.pro, would you say, especially given how the way they drafted the early Doom pickup, do you feel like they just felt like this is a style that they would be able to counter TNC with? And TNC are trying to make the more technical adjustments in the draft and trying to say, okay, they dealt with us in Game 2 by having so much catch, and you're saying, okay, we just team fight up.
Yeah, I think Virtus.pro are reading that TNC relies on going for the split push. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, because in a game like this, I really like how they adjusted the draft so that they could get into a straight-up fight. Because last game, there wasn't really a point where we could see TNC winning a 5-on-5 without VP just really overextending.
So maybe we should say that it's not necessarily TNC and their best play style, but maybe it's the most effective thing that they have in their toolkit against VP.
What I love best. You get this meta that develops.
If you haven't heard that, again, tournament organizers, Blitz really likes best of 3s.
I understand best of 1s are hype and all, but this is what gets me going.
This is the true donut right here.
The draft on draft, the adjustments that you make in the draft to be able to deal with each other it's phenomenal. And TNC is playing out of their minds. VP, we know how good they are, but TNC are definitely showing that they can compete in this series.
Sam H been blocked in by the ice shards. Will take a bit of damage from Roger as a result. Now he's trying to deal with a 1v2 lane right now. I believe Winter called out that TNC was going to be running maybe some sort of aggro tri-lane. That's exactly the case here. Luna, a Rubik, as well as a Naga Siren.
Going to take some damage. And you want to do this against the Disruptor. The very single target focused hero doesn't come with the easiest of disables, as here we go, Ramses taking a lot of damage. Even if he rages, he might just get too low.
Yeah, he's actually very low here. Has to pop his rage and turn, but the damage comes in from Cuckoo too fast, and it does pick up the first blood.
And you notice that Solo can't do anything about this.
Yeah.
He's got, even if you have kinetic field at that point, they probably chase you down and kill you. That's why VP are going to make the switch in lanes. They cannot afford this lifestealer to get slowed down by that much. Pasha going to help out a little bit. I'd imagine he just runs into the tree line and goes to the TP himself.
So my question to you is, do we move this Luna to match the lifestealer tri-lane, or do we just move the supports around?
Maybe you just move the supports around. Because the Luna should be okay now. He's got 15 CS.
No, they brought bottom.
Okay.
They want that extra damage. They're trying to utilize the fact that they have 2 cores in 1 lane to bully Ramses, maybe even get the kill, but fail to do so. So we are going to have Sam H head right back up to the top lane. Sorry, VP. You want to try and dodge this, but this is the matchup you are destined for.
I thought they would have been okay with it because their Sand King, once you get a few levels, you're all right against the lifestealer.
Yeah.
You can only rage so many times.
And quite strong in a tri-lane with, since you do have sort of an initiating disable at that point.
I guess they just think we were winning the lane before. They can't lane swap again because they were the first to use their TP.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so important when you go for that smoke maneuver to spot where the lanes are going to be, confirm your suspicions, try to figure out the best way to lane.
That's why it feels like every game starts off so fast, because every single time we're going to have early smokes, team want that information, and maybe instead of information, they actually just get an early kill.
Just because of how important the laning phase is, you want to try to confirm those things as soon as possible. Make sure that no trickiness is happening. If you're getting aggroed, you want to be the first team to be able to swap so that the enemy team wastes their TP first and you can reactionary TP at that point.
In which case it leaves the enemy team to have to do a Wong lock across the map if they want to be able to dodge again. Here, Solo is going to be caught by Bro Strike. Gets himself out with the kinetic field. Doesn't walk through it, though. Goes the other direction, hoping for maybe some sort of YOLO deny on neutrals. Not going to happen, though.
Sam H is going to get that entire wave. You should always try to do to the Disruptor. Go for the aggro. If you give him a position where he's just 2-on-1 against an offlaner, he's so powerful. At bottom lane, the dive is there. Raven.
Big trouble here, but he does have a wand as well as a healing south. Dodges the ice shard. The snowball's going to land. He gets off the wand, survives a little bit longer. It was a great effort, Raven. Impressive, but not good enough to survive.
If Solo wasn't there, I think he might have made it out.
Yeah.
Whew. Dick juke.
All right, well, they finally do. Okay. Bro Strike from the trees gets a lot of damage in with the Riptide and the right clicks.
Yeah, they're trying to always make sure that this Naga is against a lifestealer. High amount of armor, good stats. Does not want to trade hits.
Ensnare if necessary through the rage.
Precisely, but mid lane is going to be the next target. Solo and Roger are here. Armel playing very carefully. Guy was very key in their first game. Got shut out in game number 2.
It's a great ward that we've seen many times. TNC utilizing it here to be able to watch the rotations of the supports as they move.
The thing that's most impressive to me about TNC is their warding game in both games. Even when they were losing, they always found the D ward in mid.
Homing missile, bonk, leading in. They're going to have a rotation from Sam H. Bro Strike. He does manage to get off the Dragon Tail, and an Ice Shard kind of blocking in Armel. No one, maybe too tanky to bring down. The Ice Shard's going to be able to slow them down so much. TNC miss out on the kill. 3 heroes in mid lane, and they can't bring down the Dragon Knight with the 2-1-2 build.
I can't even blame them for that.
No.
That was just sick Ice Shards. They could not move. The positioning on them, Roger found the perfect angle to lock them both out.
Ramses pops the rage to make sure that he can try and get the bounty rune, but it was actually picked up by Sam H instead, who goes for another one and uses his Bro Strike to get that. They do have a sentry, though. Was that bounty really worth it, Sam H? Well,
if he can get to the high ground here.
Bro Strike away! No, there's going to be a snowball.
Goodbye. They do manage to grab Solo at the same time.
Yeah.
So nice rotation. They're going to make it again onto mid, but
round
Armel is
2.
low.
Trying to kill no one. Ensnare first. Cuckoo. Okay, they've got the call down. That's a decent amount of range damage. Armel's going to come in with a rocket barrage. The magic damage is going to be enough. Roger not going to go for that kill on the support that was so low. Doesn't want to give up on all of this creep experience here. And they do have a shrine available, so TNC will take full advantage of that.
If you don't succeed, try again.
And it seems like the second try is all they need. Look at TNC doing a little bit of extra efficiency here, trying to stack. They do at least stack up the Ancients.
He got the Ancients. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And they've got 2 heroes to clear, right? Gyrocopter as well as Luna. Probably more likely that Luna will want to utilize that stack, but...
Want to give Raven a better game than he had in number 1. Or number 2. As Sam H pushing up pretty aggressively, but Pasha's here. He's got his level 6. He's spotted under the vision. That's what I'm talking about. TNC are so good at the vision game, and once again...
All right, trying a third time. The call down coming in. He tries to go for a snowball, but the telekinesis stopped him from getting close enough. So Roger, he does the snowball late. Now going to get caught by the Doom. At least Pasha will make sure the Gyrocopter goes down. The life steal will help him out there. TNC in shambles now. Needs to be able to use the Burrow Strike to separate some of these cores away from Cuckoo. He will survive. Pasha in deep here, but they've got the ensnare on the life steal, so they're going to try and go for him instead. TNC, I'm not sure if you really want to go for this too much longer, though. Just be happy with the kill that you got on the Dragon as well as the Tusk.
And the 4-on-4 rotation. They still want to go for this. The net is there.
They've got an ensnare, and they do manage to pick on telekinesis, but kind of overlapping their stuns. Yeah.
TNC with, and that was one of the more obvious misplays that I've seen out of them. They've been so clean in this entire series. If you get that kill, that would be massive. We've seen what it looks like when Raven gets a lead on the enemy carry.
Kind of interesting. They had to use their shrines at that 5-minute marker. They've been able to save both of them for later on in the game, and it's allowed these supports to keep up a very fast-paced game. First it was the bottom shrine, gank into mid. Now top shrine, another gank into mid. It seems with this smoke, they are determined to make sure that no one learns his place.
This is the 5th attempt that they're going for. It's only 8 minutes in. The ward, he thinks it's going to save him.
Okay,
here comes the
Mass DP's already coming in. The call down is going to be a lot of damage with the Burrow Strike. They will be able to kill the Dragonite pretty quickly. No! This time around, Roger does get the snowball save, and no one will be able to walk it off. Sam H, he's going to be the one who's a little bit of trouble here. Does have a Burrow Strike up. Thinks about turning on to Pasha, but thinks better of it. He is dangerously low. The Infernal Blade does a lot of damage over time, and he gets him with the... Oh, man. He almost got the Burrow Strike ahead of the Ice Shards, too, but the Ice Shards hits him first.
Roger is on fire right now.
Yeah.
First the Ice Shard block. He snowball picks up his DK to dodge the missile, manages to find the creep at 1 health, catches him on the right side, and they're going to swap the lanes. No one is feeling the burn of that mid lane. Even if the ganks aren't successful, he's not getting a lot of farm that he's used to.
He's saying, guys, I got to have a bit of a game
I don't want
here.
to play here.
Yeah, this is this is too much for me to handle, even as a Dragon Knight.
They're going to send Pasha here to tank this, but that was a lot of smokes utilized by TNC.
And would you say that Dragon Knight, do you think it's a hero that can't really be sacked too much in the laning phase?
You don't want to sack him that hard. Allowing him to get ganked that many times, even if only 1 or 2 of them were successful. We see here the replay lead in.
You could see the difference. This time around, TNC, they had to use the telekinesis to initiate and pull him farther away from these TPs, but the damage just doesn't come fast enough.
How low
Roger,
he got.
From max range, it felt like he grabbed that snowball pickup on the Dragon Knight. Saves his core and VP.
And the Ice Shard
Successful
snipe.
rotation for them. Yeah, being able to get Sam H at the tail end of this.
Whoop. Goodbye. Roger setting up at bottom. Sam H has been slowed down quite a bit as a result of these rotations.
Yeah, he was given the solo lane. And he got decent farm out of it in the laning phase, but has tried to move around a lot for TNC.
Yeah, the trade-off here is that the Luna got a little bit more space and the Gyrocopter got a little bit more space, but as a result, the Doom had, once again, a very good start.
Also, it seems like this is constant. Sam H and Tims, they're willing to kind of swap around and create space for each other. The Naga Siren is level 7 as a result of Sanking moving around and being that active ganker for TNC, so.
Seems like a very concerted effort to try to slow down no one. Just has treads at this point, Sam H.
An early Radiance for Ramses, no armlet. What's the difference between this build? Oh, Jesus, he's really thinking about it. Ramsey's going to be quite low thanks to the Riptide. Roger, he can go for a shard here to try and slow him down, and he does. TNC blocked out. They're going to turn their attention to Roger instead. Managed to get the Bro Strike on him. More and more damage flowing in with Cuckoo. Following this up with the telekinesis, he can stop him if necessary. Right as the snowball. Roger still managed to get it off, though. Now Rams is going to come back in as they finish off Roger. Oh, one nice shard. Still, though, it's going to force out the Burrow Strike, and it traps in Cuckoo. A Doom onto the Naga Siren to make sure they can't get off the sleep. Sam H hiding away in that invis, and Naga Siren is fast enough to run away as well. Cuckoo manages to steal the Hellbear Smash, slowing down Pasha. Can he actually get out? He's got 14 stacks of Magic Wand charges. Tim's targeted by the Disruptor. Anything they can to be able to stop this Naga Siren, even the Rage, but it looks like Tim's will successfully get it off and get a little bit of space. Maybe underneath this tower they can survive here. Illusion's going out. The real Tim's has been found. They know exactly which one is the real hero. They will find him underneath the tower. Sam H cowers behind a kinetic field, spots him out for a moment, and now Pasha thinks about going for the dive. He does have a Bro Strike, though. Use it to get onto the other side of the trees, and Pasha will have to give up on that kill. Still, though, it seems that perseverance was the key to victory for VP in that bottom lane. They finally do manage to pick up 2 kills.
Still, during this time period, you've got a Gyrocopter and a Luna completely untouched. Luna just farming. Understands her place in the game. The team fight is still very good on the side of TNC. They have a lot of follow-up.
And this Mask of Madness build just accelerates your farm that much more, right? This is a hero that could be very susceptible to ganks, but alone in the jungle with the Mask of Madness is exactly how she likes it.
TNC keeping things very chaotic right now for Virtus.pro. The way that Doom works, though, is he's always going to keep in step with Devour. Even with his multiple fight attempts, he should be okay. Armel, nice juke. Do they know where he is?
If he's spotted, though, they can still get the glimpse. They don't see him with the kinetic field. It
the very edge. Nice TP.
It.
And this is a very good game number 3. Both teams playing at such a high level, good pace.
Blitz, we talked about this build once. The early Radiance as opposed to the Armlet. I think last time we determined the Illusions, the Terrorblade. Okay, TNC, we're going to watch them kill Solo real quickly. He does have a Static Storm. He lays it out, but Raven quickly jumps out of it. Tim's is still going to try and get the kill, but Raven needs to get out of here. Burrow Strike not going to stop Ramses, though. He has the Rage out. Now the Rage is going to fall. They need to get the Eclipse damage, but he gets bursted too quickly. VP keep pushing forward, looking for more. They know Tim's is on the side. They've also spotted Armel. Pasha's going to be able to slow down. He does get the Doom out after the call down, but the Ice Shard blocks him in, ensuring they get the kill. Dominating spree, still trying to kill Solo as Tim's, but the Dragon Eye is just stunned up Sam H. This is all worth it. If Solo dies for 3 kills, they will gladly take that trade-off. Sam H on a sliver of HP. Gets a little bit earned love there from Tim's. Ramses can't quite catch up. The Burrow Strike gets him a little bit more distance. And it seems like it'll just be the 2 cores of the Luna and Gyrocopter who will die for their very aggressive smoke gank into the Dire Triangle.
Yeah, they committed so hard for that kill on the Solo, but they weren't willing to use Eclipse.
Yeah.
They were split up. You saw that there was some hesitation in Raven. The Lifestealer just comes in, raged up. They have 3 heroes to tank that. They've got more than enough burst damage to kill this Luna.
And this is why we don't see a whole lot of invasions into that area, right? There's a shrine and 2 towers that are all within easy TP distance to be able to close in and get in that fight, and that's exactly what happened. VP just got there instantly.
That's a massive pickup for them of that Luna kill. Raven uncontested since the laning phase. Was starting to snowball a little bit. But with that, are going to take the top tier 1 tower. VP, what's your response? Looks like they want to go for mid. No one. 5 seconds for his Dragon form. But they've got the catapult.
The Siege Wagon could be all he needs, but Tim's making sure it's not going to go down without a fight, and TNC are already smoking over. So Tim's knows if he postures pretty aggressively.
They want to go the long way, I think.
Yeah. Look at those scans. Both of them thinking that the enemy team is in that ancient area.
Ramses is a little bit of an awkward kill, but he's the only one showing himself right now.
Maybe from a long distance. They get the Burrow Strike, follow up the call down as much damage as possible. Manage to get the telekinesis. Wow, well executed.
That was so well done. Sam H finds the crevice, gets the absolute max range on the stun. TNC.
That will slow down the radiance of the Lifestealer.
Against the consensus #1 team in the world. can't really argue with that considering their success at the majors. TNC are in a very good position 16 minutes in. More than holding their own right now. Armel going to deal with this bottom lane. This is a lot of creeps for him. So this is going to slow things down a little bit for TNC. Get your farm going.
Another push in mid lane with a smoke behind it. VP. And they're going to wrap into mid lane. They shouldn't let their Dragon Knight overextend too much, though. Already going to get their initiation out from the supports. Raven is here as well. They've got too much magic damage. VP can't get there in time. It was kind of the right idea, just not the right timing. VP smoke falls a little bit late.
They're going to secure themselves a stack 2. Bottom lane is completely pushed out. Very good position for them to be in. And VP, they were trying to bait the Dragon Knight. Wrap around, grab that tier 1 tower mid. That's going to be crucial for them. If they can grab it first, it is low. Throwing out the ice shards. Armel getting a little bit low. He's just going to reset a little bit here.
And you have to know TNC are always going to protect that tier 1 tower as long as possible. It does protect those ancient stacks with both cores taking advantage of.
Yeah, really good point. What I really like too is that TNC is consistently stacking whenever they are here.
Oh, thought about the Doom, but Sam H gets out the burst strike first.
And he's going to blink out. The good news for VP is that they're almost about to hit their Radiance timing, and that's when I'd imagine that they want to get aggressive.
Yeah.
Their Doom is still in a very good spot.
And we've seen how VP, I mean, they absolutely exploded in game 2, right? They hit their timings of double BKB and boom, it was like the game was over 5-10 minutes later. So VP, they're going to hit a similar timing here with the Radiance. We'll see how effective their aggressive moves are going to be.
So what VP are gonna want to do is get those BKBs and get into a position where they can just fight. There's a lot of magic damage on the side of TNC. And what TNC needs to do is when you pop the Naga Sleep, your Luna and your Gyro need to hit hard enough that you're just in an advantageous fight. Like you're 3-on-5ing and you can just hit them while the rest of the team is asleep.
It's like, oh, Lifestealer's raged and running at me? Well, I'll just kill him with Luna.
You just
I can turn and fight.
Right click him. That's the point you want to get into.
And that takes time, though. We still need more time for Gyro and Luna to be able to farm up.
Yeah, VP smoked up. And look at how underfarmed this Dragon Knight is. And normally no one up to a net worth.
You very rarely see him having a bad game.
And that is TNC's game plan. You could see it. They just wanted to run at him non-stop. I think they went and ganked him 6 times in the laning phase alone. Cuckoo. They know he's there. He's going to be the sacrifice.
Cuckoo, get the tower. Go for it, buddy. Now you're dead, but it was well worth it.
Got a tower.
It would have been even sweeter if he could have actually, given the wall response. Oh.
Give him the punch.
Give him the Rubik
to
punch.
The left.
Haste rune. Uh-oh. Solo.
Stunned up.
All right, he does that back up, though. He's got Ramses.
Gonna get the glimpse.
We've seen this before. Ramses protecting Solo, but a TP out from Sam H. No one gets the burst damage from afar. He couldn't get the stun, but he will throw out the Dragon Flame.
Now they're trying to pick up some kills, but it's still 2K in favor of TNC. But if you could get some Doom kills here, this would be massive.
He almost finds it on Armel.
Just around the corner. I think even if he gets the Doom off there, doesn't Armel just run away? The Gyrocopter is very quick.
Absolutely. That's where he needs to guarantee he gets the Infernal Blade in.
They
know about this. They know about this rotation. Tim's has already come here to make sure if they do Doom up Raven, he's ready to go with the song.
Pasha very smartly just backing out. Tim's thought about throwing out the sleep just to get the catch. But they are going to back out. Both teams just resetting. It's just a game of...
And he shouldn't throw away that sleep after all, right? It's like a great tool against so many of these heroes.
A lot of halfway committals from both teams. Game 3 for VP. Continued success. Scare crap out of every other team, but for TNC, this would be massive for them.
5-man smoke up. We're saying this is about the time that VP need to utilize that Radiance to find success, but it's TNC who will push out as a team.
Gonna find Solo
Run
first.
into Solo. All right, I've seen this story before. This time around, they'll kill Solo before he can get off the Static Storm and maybe
Roger.
catch more. Roger spotted out by Tims underneath the tier 1 tower, trying to slow him down with a Sigil. The Lifestealer TP's in, and Tims, actually cancels that
that's enough
TP.
to scare them. Maybe Sam H will continue to look for it. Indeed, he does.
Roger.
He overcommits the blink.
He misses out. Roger is finally spotted, though. Roger can defend himself with a snowball. The call down's coming in. He'll dodge some of that damage, trying to get back to the tier 2. The homing missile chases him down, but no one. He actually, maybe they cancel the TP on the Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is still here inside of no one. So Pasha spotted out, does manage to get the Doom out onto the Luna. No one pushes forward. Finally, they pop out with Ramses. They're going to blow up at least the support. Sand King's dead.
That was a BKB, though.
Popped by no one, though, and they've really grabbed nothing here
Tim's.
except for Tim's. Okay, they got Tim's as well. Managed to stop his TP at least.
Not going to use a sleep. Would get chased down. Ramses with the double kill. VP needed something like that. That was the commitment of the BKB from the Dragon Knight. They probably wanted that fight to go a little bit better.
Big problem is they just didn't have the Dragon Knight, not a great vehicle before his Blink Dagger.
Yeah, that was awkward. He had to walk no one in, or no one had to just straight up walk in. Ramses popped out from a little bit of distance.
Yeah. Seeing that, though, do you still agree with no one's build of this early BKB?
He was slow. He was way too slowed down.
Yeah.
And you see the difference in TNC's lineup? This time around, they're like, we're going to fight. You're going to go for the catch. That's okay. If we're grouped up as 5, the catch won't matter as much.
The glimpse back onto Armel, putting him in an awkward position, but not the ultimate
Without
position.
Doom, they want to take this fight.
Yeah, the kinetic field inside with the Static Storm. Okay, Raven tries to get himself over the side, but Roger spots him out. They get the jump in. Manage to pop him. Now they're going to be able to get the Rubik as well with the Roshan low. VP, it felt like TNC was kind of outplaying them for a meanwhile, but this big Roshan fight can give Virtus.pro the clear lead that they need in this game.
What he does, he completely scouts it out. There's no rebuttal. Solo gonna get run into, dies again.
Okay, Solo maybe gives up his life to make sure his team gets the Roshan. But they need to actually get this Roshan. The cooldown's going to come in, and the sleep out with the rage activated by Ramses. He picks up the Aegis, and now Tim's has to TP out. Fortunately, the sleep lasts long enough. He'll be okay.
Yeah, Ramses was really careful there. Pops the rage to ensure that there are no shenanigans. What Pasha was doing there, scouting out Sam H, making sure that he couldn't get that epicenter combo off.
Yeah.
They were doing due diligence.
And then Solo on the other side to make sure that the team just can't run in from the high ground as well.
Yeah, he's kind of just a whatever, I'll die, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's the lowest net worth in the game.
And Armel. Oh no, he doesn't have a BKB, so he can't get away from this glimpse or the kinetic field, but maybe he can just TP out.
No stun available to them as the glimpse was committed. VP not going to find the kill on Armel, but they are starting to grow up their gold lead as Raven trying to get a Lincoln Sphere.
It is still very scary for Virtus.pro because this Luna and this Gyrocopter, you give them any sort of space and they're gonna keep out farming you, so they gotta keep up the pressure, and that's where Tim may end up falling here in the bottom lane, but it's gonna be called down caught onto Pasha. He tries to, by himself, go for an execution and ends up getting his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Yeah, 13-14 is the score. Close game number 3. They just continue to duke it out as VP once again miss out on a sentry.
Probably not expecting that ward.
They know there is a ward up here.
Yeah, they know it's somewhere.
Otherwise, TNC wouldn't play in this area. You're almost always going to play to where you have vision in Dota. Ramses aggressively pushes out top. He's got the Aegis and a Solar Crest. Not worried or concerned in the least about anything.
A BKB almost finished up for Armel. We've seen how pesky that Disruptor has been for him. He can actually complete this BKB. He's going to run a lot faster than many of these other heroes.
But this might be a little bit of a bait. No one's coming in.
He's about to come in. Doesn't have his Blink Dagger, though. He's already blown it. Pops Dragonborn, tries to go for the stun. Doesn't get it now. With Solo already dead, they're going to try and blow up the Naga Star. They need to real quickly. Don't let him get off the sleep. And they won't. The call down wards away VP from pushing further.
That could have been really bad for them. If he gets the net, maybe TNC commit to the fight. But now here comes Pasha. Fizzed up.
He is going to spot Raven soon. It'd be an excellent Doom target, but a Radiant scan successfully hits the Doom, and TNC back away. They do have a Blink Dagger on the Rubik now, and an extra source of initiation for TNC.
TNC not really looking for the 5-man. Aegis on the side of VP, so they're content just for the individual pickoffs. From lane, Cuckoo's going to be the one that ventures out. willing to throw his life away, kind of scout things out for Armel, make sure that it's safe. If there were people there, it would have been Cuckoo's life that gets traded out. They'll have the Aegis for a little bit, but VP, I don't know if you can grab much more than this.
Courier coming in, dropping off the S&Y for the Lifestealer. He knows the mobility of the Gyrocopter is going to be a problem later on in these team fights. He's going to try and match that a little bit.
Yeah, same with the Luna.
Those two heroes, they're very reliant on their BKB and their mobility, right?
Yeah, they're so fast. Off their ping
Look
right
at
now.
this gank setup by TNC.
They've de-warded. They're waiting for it right now. No one has a Blink Dagger.
But
At BKB,
it's a kind of a hard combination to kill. The snowball save on no one could allow him to be able to get off the BKB.
only got 2 heroes up here on the side of VP. So TNC were thinking about it. They're not certain if it's a bait, once again, like it was at bottom.
Yeah. They aren't really sure. I don't think they spotted the Disruptor for a little while.
That's why moves like that at bottom when the baited solo are important.
Yeah.
Because you start to question if it's just going to be a free kill. VP smoked up, no one.
Okay, there was a vision around that area. Not sure if it actually saw the smoke or not.
It might have been like the sweet spot
Yeah.
where they just weren't quite spotted. Not certain, but VP, no one this time around has a Blink Dagger, so he's going to be a much more successful vehicle. And I think the pings are coming out.
The spots some
Solo?
heroes. Ooh. It's nighttime. A little bit hard to judge.
Really didn't see him there. Smoke might just fail.
It does look like it. TNC are playing back inside their base.
They are waiting and patient. Again, the vision game from TNC. All 3 games, even in the one they lost, it feels as though they're winning in that regard.
Core staff now for the Sand King. Extra tools to be able to manipulate his ally's position and kite that Lifestealer. That's one of the big
Aegis.
downsides of the hero.
VP, they feel strong, and they should. Ramsey's so farmed at this point. TNC, they built so defensively. I don't even know if they have the damage to kill him, but here they
And
go.
the center jumping forward, not going to find anything. Sam H has to give up on this one. He has to burrow strike
What's the
backwards
glimpse?
just to survive. A glimpse back onto Sam H ensures it. Tim's thought about the sleep, but the BKB has already popped by
They're
no
gonna go
one.
high ground.
An explosive opportunity for VP. They punish the Sand King.
Tims?
Now they're going
Could
to
be a
punish
big
Tims
kill.
as well. He's going to be caught. The Clips goes down though, and no one doesn't have the BKB, so he melts underneath that magic damage. Already, a Doom popped out onto the Gyrocopter. He may have popped his BKB of his own, but a Walrus Punch stalled them up a little bit longer. Still though, another Infernal Blade.
They're overcommitting.
Oh no, they are overcommitting for sure. VP is super low against Raven's right-click damage. They do manage to back out in time though. If they'd committed for that Gyrocopter kill with the glimpse back, they certainly would have lost that engagement. Fortunately, they wise up at just the right time.
Sam H in that position was trying to go for a catch. They didn't want to just continue to give up towers, but it goes so wrong. See the distance on that.
The failed blink forward, 4-staff play. Tries to burrow strike to recover.
And Tim's positioning a little bit too close. Solo spots him up. He drops the ward. They know he exactly where he is.
And so we can see, I feel like this team fight kind of shows both of the win opportunities here for VP, in that it is kind of a ticking time bomb for VP. This Luna growing bigger and bigger is eventually going to outscale this Lifestealer, but VP are super strong right now, and they can just as easily win one team fight and take your high ground.
Yes. Oh, ward. Instantly taken out. Lincoln's now completed by the Luna. Now she needs to start building some damage.
It's a good thing she has that Lincoln's, though, because the Blink Dagger just got picked up by the Doom. He does have the ensnares, though. He does have that combination. He can break through the Lincolns.
It's about who's faster at that point.
Yeah.
Because there's a Hurricane Pike on this Luna.
True.
Raven creates some distance and gets jumped on.
He's going to Shadow Blade up, push on through. There is a Sentry down
They wanna bait
TNC.
this. But VP, great game sense. Feels like they're wise to this. They wanted to try to take a fight before the next Roshan. They could secure the Aegis for Ramses. Get a cheese on that Dragon Knight. That could be how they offset most of the damage. So burst heavy on the side of TNC.
Halbert, there's been a lot of talk between the talent, how this item is perhaps underutilized right now. We saw it in the Huskar game to great effect against this OD. It's going to be a great item against both the Gyro and the Luna if you can get it before that BKB. As it is a disarm that persists through Magic Immunity.
Bottom lane just being dealt with by Raven real fast. Everyone protecting him at this point. Nobody willing to throw away a life, but TNC are at a disadvantage right now. 9K is the lead for VP.
I'm not gonna lie, I had a moment of confusion there. I saw Rubik with the net, and I was like, how the hell does he steal Naga Siren's net? He's on his own team. It's the Doom Ensnare. Slightly different image.
Both times he's like stolen something. Been from the Doom, it's either been the Ensnare or like the
Hellbear Smash, initiation onto no one.
There's the net.
They're going to
There's
force
net
out the
number 2.
BKB, net number 2. Okay, it's going to lock him down even longer. He's going to pop the Dragon Form, threatening like he's going to turn, and Pasha will actually join him. They're going to catch the Naga Siren here, trying to stop that
That was
song.
optimistic.
They are going to be able to get a net, but Armel, as well as Raven, they're turning and fighting here, and Pasha's going to give up on that one. Now with the BKB activated, Armel's just going to go through these heroes, and again, no one without the Magic Immunity can't fight against these cores. An Ice Shard block is going to fail as TNC retreat back to the shrine, and immediately they're going to smoke up. They know VP with no BKB and a buyback utilized by Solo. There's some abilities that are going to be on cooldown.
And this
here.
is, despite the 8K lead that they have, this is a dangerous position that they just put themselves into. If they lose this fight, that'll be the Roshan. Solo can't afford to lose his life, even though he is the disruptor. He did just buy back
here. So if you think your death timer is small, you're absolutely wrong.
And look at Sam H, he's pushing forward. Doesn't
Almost
catch
gets
Pasha.
the Burrow Strike, a good blink. Great reaction from Pasha. But Roshan, it is, I say just about to be up, not really. Still another 28 seconds. That's more than enough time for VP to stall.
Even score, 8K gold lead for VP, but the BKB timers are what matter right now for VP. This Dragon Knight, still vulnerable, purely building in a tank.
I mean, his his BKB, it's wearing low on charges. We can see the magic damage is threatening him a lot.
Yeah.
I think just raw HP makes sense.
Instead of going for damage, for sure. In a game like this, I think he's correctly itemizing based on his situation. He wasn't able to snowball. He's just trying to enable.
Doom trying to TP into a shrine.
He's got
Immediately
BKB.
Nice snowball save, but they're going to go into a world of hurt with the call down, as well as the Eclipse already out. They managed to get the ensnare onto the
Pasha?
Doom with the BKB, but at the same time, they're going to lose their Naga Siren. So no song out. VP push back the rest of TNC, who now with the static storm. Good hurricane fight. Managed to get out of that kinetic field, and now Sam H comes back in with the epicenter. They turn, looking to be able to kill Cuckoo, but these cores need to be able to finish off Armel, and they've done it too. Ravenflow
Look how
as well.
strong Ramses
is so damn big. He's feeling good about himself, but he needs to be able to get that kill on Raven to really make this worth it. Tries to slow him down. Lincoln's blocked the open wounds, and he is quite low. Rage is up in 1 second, though, and he's got the help of no one. He makes sure that the Rubik will go to the grave.
It looks so promising for a second. But Ramses holds his ground. Very strong with this build, and once the BKBs wore out, you saw how quickly Armel went down.
I mean, when Sam H went in, I thought for sure that was going to be a lost fight for VP, but Ramses just proves he's too strong right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Pops the open wounds, gets his health back. You're going to see it here. Pasha gets caught out. Very nice snowball save. This is what extended it.
It allows, he gets off the BKB and ensnare, and sure, he still dies, but at the end, it was time for VP to be able to set up and get in this fight.
Yeah, you see how strong their cores are. It was 3-on-5 for the time. At this point, you think for certain Ramses is going to go down.
Yeah, Ramsey a bit low, and then he realized he's like, wait a minute.
Oh, well, I'm just going to kill everyone.
I've got open wounds on Armel. Let me just heal off of him real quickly.
Normally when you get a 3-on-5 advantage like that, they kill two heroes so quickly. But Tim's not really able to play Dota right now.
That someone else in the team must have given him that call, and he trusted that call. Because he started running away, and someone told him, you get your ass back in there and fight.
10K is the lead, but the more important objective is the next Roshan. This will be the game-determining one. If TNC get this, imagine how different that fight looks. And on the other side, if Virtus.pro get this, the Lifestealer and the DK, if you had trouble taking them down the first time, gonna have to do it twice.
And he's almost got level 25. He can get the extra 2 seconds of rage duration if he wants against all this magic.
Now TNC, they're trying to pressure out this top lane. bring somebody back on the side of VP, and VP simultaneously, they're looking closely at that bottom. Trying to play this game of chicken right now. There's a lot of creeps that they've got to deal with, and the double Sea Dragon.
Cannot afford to let this push go untouched. So TNC will send Tims down there to deal with it.
Butterfly is now complete for this gyrocopter.
That's a really big pickup, especially since our Lifestealer was going for a Nullifier instead of an MKB.
It's so when you get the burst, you can just kill somebody off the bat with
Don't
the
let
DK
him,
stun.
Yeah. Don't let him get
the
off
BKB.
BKB. Don't let him get off. Maybe the Butterfly active would be another one
No
to get
Hurricane
away.
Pike, nothing.
Yeah.
Heart now complete on no one after that successful fight.
He's now up to 4,200 HP. Even against all of the AoE of Call Down, Epicenter, Eclipse, he will be able to tank through a lot of it.
150 GPM. Got enough tank. He's good.
Level 25, though.
Yeah, he needs
More tank? More 40 strength?
maybe at that point. We'll see. VP smoked up. Talked about how important the Roshan's going to be for both sides. It's VP making the aggressive maneuver forward. TNC, how do you hold this?
It feels like an incredibly strong initiation. A blink, Dragon Tail stun with a Lifestealer popping out, nullifying someone. But Tims, he can be the key to stopping all of it. And he's the key right now to shoving VP out of the Roshan pit.
They're not certain who the Lifestealer's in right now.
Yeah.
So they're not willing to make the commitment anywhere. If they jump onto no one, the Lifestealer pops out rage. Somebody's going to die. They don't necessarily want to do that.
Or it could be the Doom or Sand King who initiates on your back line. All of a sudden, there's an angle right.
Lift.
Okay, blink in. They know one thing for sure. It's
Good
not
snowball.
in the Disruptor, but a snowball save. And now a Static Storm on a Sam H. He has no way out of this one, so they've caught him. A song goes out, stopping this fight in its tracks, and immediately going to go for the BKB. They do have a call down, hitting a lot of these heroes, but a blink forward to no one. He's going to challenge the back lines, but they do need to be careful here. With TNC buying back, they're certainly in full strength.
That was a sleep committed, and Rubik out of position.
Has a snowball though,
himself.
has a blink dagger as well, so he can instantly jump out of here. They try and pull him into a bad position, but he has the mobility. Now no one is going to jump forward. The Eclipse Bob, BKB, as well as Rage. That Eclipse is not going to be worthless, but Tim managed to get a force step on the other side. Now they need to focus on nullifying and dooming up this Luna, and they've got her dead to rights. Surely, they've got her backed into a corner, infest out, make sure they get every bit of damage. She ends up going down. The Doom is a little bit low. Cuckoo tries to finish up that kill, unable to do so. Armel thought about it, but has to give up on it. He realizing, especially with the rest of TNC down with no buybacks. The Doom, oh Roger, please, this game is too close for you to be doing cheeky deny plays like that.
This is one of my favorite parts about VP, is that there is a Roshan available, but they're playing for the win right now. That team fight dictated by Roger Snowball once again.
And are they going to read this all the way through?
Yes. If they haven't bought back by now, and they're pinging.
They're not going to go for the tier 4s. They're going to go for that second lane of Rax.
And there's a lot of time.
Respecting TNC here. They get the melee Rax. They can back out. They can still do Roshan in that 30 seconds. It feels like the absolute safest play from VP. The right combination of aggression, but not overextending yourself into a base race. They will go back, get Aegis and Cheese.
They thought they had a free kill on solo.
Yeah.
They're like, we'll get rid of the Static Storm. The numbers advantage is what's key here. There's a decent chance he doesn't have buyback just based on the amount of times that he's died.
But Roger is so damn fast.
Yeah, he's extended 2 of these fights with the snowball. The one to save Pasha near their shrine, that might have been a game-saving one. And once again, onto solo.
5-man smoke up from TNC, but it's too late with the Aegis already in the hands of no one. And the Cheese out on Ramses. Virtus.pro, 23,000 gold lead. You could talk about whatever the Luna might be able to do late game. This kind of gold lead, she's not going to be able to stand toe-to-toe. TNC have to find a way to even this out a bit.
20K plus gold lead.
Look at no one.
He's got the tome.
He's taking the tome. He wants that 25. And can't say I blame him for it. That is a big pickup. Shivas now for the Doom.
Everybody's rich.
Everybody gets some armor. Everybody tank up.
Except Solo.
Except Solo.
Solo just continues to buy wards.
Well, Solo has the best armor of all. The Snowball. You're invulnerable. Cuckoo. All right.
They're gone.
Get a little bit too close to Ramses. You're going to get got.
Ramsey's so afraid in this game. Unafraid in this game. If he couldn't die in that one occasion where Sam H got the full epi stun on him,
Yeah.
like what hope do they have to kill him? Got the cheese, had it holstered, but gonna pop it out for the treads now that he's here. Doesn't need the move speed. There's gonna be mega creeps potentially. VP gonna go for the high ground, very fearless at this point. What is TNC's response?
Well, they're going to have to
Buyback?
buy back on the Rubik first. VP. All they do is back out with a Lifestealer. They're going to leave no one on the front lines hitting this tier 3.
He's so tanky. He's got the Aegis. He's daring them right now.
And the rest of the team is trying to deny any information or opportunity for initiation from TNC. They just play pretty far back. They're ready to do the Blink Snowball, save on no one if necessary.
Cuckoo ventures out for a second. Gonna blink back instantly.
Tier 3 now dead. No one.
This Dragon Knight's not taking any damage.
His Dragon form is about to wear out, though. So maybe this is where VP, okay, they try and jump in, try and see if they can actually get the Luna in the back lines, but the Doom is already out. Onto the Gyrocopter, he gets a call down out, they go for the sleep play, but, oh, it is enough to be able to save Sam H. Lifestealer runs a little bit out of steam, they get another Force Staff, Glimpse back onto Sam H, can he burn strike through? He's dead. Pulled back to his Doom by Glimpse. And VP keep trying for the objectives here. Even without Dragonforce, they're feeling confident. Now they might be able to get a little bit more with the Rubik. Not caught by the Static Storm. He managed to get a Force Staff away. Roger gets him in the back line with a Walrus Punch. Now the charge goes down. They see the opportunity for Eclipse, but the Snowball save is out on himself. And Lifestealer gets the back line. So even if Roger dies the fountain here, he has forced the rest of the enemy team back far enough away that Naga Siren will end up dying without the help of Raven or Armel. Now Ramses, he spots Luna. No one manages to get the stun in. And without that, Luna is dead. A buyback is available, but TNC have already called it. Virtus.pro, they make the comeback. They were down 0-1 after a very dominant Game 1 for TNC. Game 2 and Game 3. VP, though, persevere through.
Yeah, VP, nice adjustments in the series, managed to close things out. Really nice individual performances by them. Roger with those snowball saves. But you also should give it up to TNC. They had a very hard road to get here.
Yes. I mean,
it was not easy.
You go into the lower bracket, you're expecting some easier teams. You end up running into Liquid and VP.
Yeah. And they gave VP a very competitive series. I think VP should be relieved to get away with this one. TNC, for the majority of last game, were able to match them step for step for such a long time.
And at the end of the day, means we will have one Southeast Asian team here in the finals. We've got one Chinese team still in the tournament, and Virtus.pro, the self-acclaimed #1 team in the world. They say they could challenge anybody here. Well, they'll have the opportunity tomorrow.
It's one from every region.
It is.
Yeah. And the casters are
It
NA,
works out
so
perfectly.
It kind of works out.
Well, hopefully we'll have some casters, at least in the grand finals. We'll see what happens. All right, guys, we are going to go to the panel as this series is over, as is, well, actually not the day. We still have the All-Star match, but first, the wrap-up on Game 3.
Yes, thanks very much, boys. Welcome to my world. The only Brit that ever gets to any esports grand finals. Now NA Dota knows exactly how we feel. Congratulations to Virtus.pro. They do keep the dream of 3 consecutive major championships alive with a win from coming behind against TNC. A 2-1 victory to take them forward into the top 3. Commiserations to TNC, but also congratulations to TNC as well. They have picked up some DPC points and have had probably the best run of the season so far. We're going to get our thoughts from our members of the panel. We have one from each region as well on the panel, nicely represented. Winter, like, I don't want to underplay this because TNC have played exceptional Dota here. They've beaten Liquid. They had a fantastic group stage, especially through the tiebreakers. You're right there, Jack.
Yeah, I'm good.
And they've fallen now. But come on, that's a good run, isn't it?
Yeah, that's an amazing run. I did not expect that from them. They improved so much. They adapted. They grew as a team. They played really, really good Dota.
And it sets them up nicely for the end of the season as well. 2 more minors, 4 more majors. They might just squeak into another top 4 position somewhere else, and who knows, might threaten the top 8. I want to focus, Fogged, on Virtus.pro in this particular game because, you know, when they've got their backs to the wall, you can't count them out, can you?
No, definitely not. They've got this like Doom that most people aren't playing, and Pasha's been. He played incredibly well in this game. I thought he was like the thing that kind of held him together. Him and Ramses over and over again. And sure, like Roger had some very nice snowball saves like this one too. But overall, they really adjusted a lot in this series. I felt like going back to kind of their roots, their heroes that they just really like to play.
And there was also there was a few moments in here where. You know, sometimes when you play Dota or you watch Dota, there's something comes out of the game and you kind of get a vibe, right? And the vibe I got from Ramses was, I want to kill everything on the map for the entire game. Like, literally chasing people halfway across the map.
I could feel the ferocity in the game, too. I was like,
you could feel it.
We're sitting in the other room, and I'm like, Ramses is trying so damn hard to win this game. It was actually like, he barely even got picked off, and the rotations and these like cute little plays they made with these, like, they TP'd in one time, and then they canceled the TP, they did a fake play, they infested, and then went for the move. And you could see that they were really trying their hardest at this one.
And Winter, you brought up the fact that you felt Roger was back.
Yeah, I think the the alcohol evaporated from his bloodstream. He's playing Dota. I'm not sure what's happening.
He's had his 2 bad games for the whole year, and he had them in the same day, and they're done now. That's it. That's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, he was a big part of a lot of saves in. The carries didn't end up going down to those like the chain stuns from the Rubik, the Sand King.
These shards were beautiful.
Yeah, there were some really nice shards. I think VP either coming into this series or in the middle of the series came to some kind of revelation about TNC. I think that I would guess that they noticed something that like TNC is almost always going to opt for the mobile, speedier cores. They're never going to sacrifice speed for kind of tankiness as part of their natural playstyle. And so if you look at the VP cores from this game and from the previous one, I think the reason the Doom is so high value is because he can very easily take one of your cores out of the game. That plus the Dragon Knight and the Lifestealer, they're great heroes at both surviving a round of spells and being able to just kill single target soft cores. So you look at their itemization as well. The Dragon Knight, he goes for Halberd, Heart, BKB to survive, to basically out-sustain. The Lifestealer, he goes for, was it Solar Crest?
Yeah, Radiant Solar.
Senjinasha, there's the Radiance as well, and then the Assault Cuirass. So they're going for these items to help them outlast the TNC cores. They will never die in one round of spells, maybe even 2. So that's why there's so much pressure on the Tim's Naga this game as well. Even with the setup from it, they can't instantly blow anyone up, and TNC's cores cannot stand their ground anymore. So I think that VP realized this at some point in the series. That's why the Doom came out so early, and that's why the rest of their lineup was built to take advantage of this.
I like that a lot, Jack, especially as all of you. You kind of highlighted at the start of the series that they love these initiators, they love these Sand Kings, these Bat Riders and what have you. And VP obviously thought that too because that was their bans in the first game. And actually that wasn't necessarily how TNC wanted to play VP, was it?
No, it didn't seem like it. I mean, this one, they really did just pick very squishy heroes. And I mean, I did feel like VP, they're just like, all right, we're going to pick tanks.
Hold that thought because we're going to hear some words from no one on the stage.
第一场比赛输了之后，第2场跟第3场打的都非常的激烈，他们是生气了吗？
All right, so no one, congratulations on your win. You guys lost the first round in this series against TNC, and then you guys came back really strong for the next 2 rounds. Was it because you guys got angry after the first round?
We're just tracing some things and change our playstyle and picks in some good way for us.
In terms of emotionally, were you guys like calm or angry or something?
We're always calm. We don't have some like angry stuff or like this.
说我们其实一直都很冷静的，我们主要是打第2盘、第3盘的时候，在我们的阵容上面做了一些纠正吧。
那么我们想问一下，具体是哪一些纠正呢？因为他们在2、3盘，特别是 BP 的时候，还是做得比较好的嘛。他们是通过哪些点进行加强呢？
So you mentioned about adjustments that you guys made for games 2 and 3. What sort of strategic adjustments do you guys make? Was it in terms of draft or execution or some other areas?
Actually, all of that we changed the draft. We understand that Furion of their team is strong. We go to double. We switch our playstyle to 2v2, 2-1-2 on the lanes, and I don't know. And that's all I think.
说主要他们就察觉到 TNC 的那个先知是很强的，所以他们对此就后面就禁掉了。而且呢，他们也是调整了他们阵容，就是他们也选择走 TNC 的212阵容来针对他在线上对他们做出一定的针对。
感觉还是有一些惧怕对面的先知体系的。那么明天他们也即将迎战老干爹战队，他们觉得老干爹战队现在的状态是一个什么样的情况？
So tomorrow you guys will be facing against LGD. What do you think about LGD's current state?
Right now, I'm not sure because all the games we're thinking that they're good, but not enough. Like I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
他说现在不太确定，觉得老干爹是蛮好的，但是可能还不够吧。然后就明天等着瞧吧。
好，我们也十分期待 VP 在明天的精彩表现。那么接下来还是有请我们李小姐送上由完美世界游戏准备的2018年亚洲邀请赛的夹克这个选手服啊。这是 No One。
And then we'll leave no one there. Yeah, some fairly honest words. They didn't really think that LGD were playing that well, I guess. So in our eyes, we sort of said before we came on, they match up quite well against LGD. I know Jack's got some thoughts on that, so we'll get both sides of the coin here. But Winter, you'd favour Virtus.pro over LGD, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think VP has like a really good matchup against LGD and Mineski. They've beaten Mineski in the group stage.
Yeah.
And TNC for me is like the biggest challenge apart from Liquid in this like loser bracket run because they have very matching play styles. They play really quick. So if they get past this, I think they have a really, really good shot of getting a third major here, back to back.
It's funny, isn't it? Because 2 games ago we were saying like they're 1 game away from going out, and yet they're the last surviving major champions. And now we're talking about them as if, well, they do actually match up quite well against these last 2 teams.
Yeah, the thing for me for VP is I feel like they make less mistakes than LGD. I feel like LGD when they do like lose these games, it's because of like one big glaring mistake or something like that. While a VP, they kind of either it's just like tons of mistakes. It's like the game just completely falls apart, or they like just win it heavily.
Yeah, Jack, give us the LGD side. Do you think LGD can win?
Well, I don't think too many people thought they would beat Liquid. I don't think too many people thought that playing on Dire so many games would be helpful to them, but they did manage to prove some people wrong. I think LGD has 2 strengths that match up well against VP. They're very good at team fighting, and they tend to scale pretty well. They have a lot of trust in their 2 cores, obviously, to carry the game. I think if they can slow things down and kind of hold the line against VP, they have a better chance than people are giving them.
Okay.
I'm not saying they have no chance, man.
All right. Okay.
Take it easy, Jack.
We're going to let these 2 fight it out to the death.
We wouldn't do that.
We're not going to do that? I think we should. And in the meantime, we'll